let's quit talking about each other and let's get some questions from the internet. How does that sound?
I'm with that.
Echo. By the way, Echo Charles is here today. Echo Charles.
Yeah. Hey, guys.
How you doing?
Glad
Welcome.
to be here with
What's
you all.
up, Echo?
Welcome
Cruising.
back.
Yep. Right on. Well, I might as well read you guys some questions, right?
Yeah, do
You guys
it.
feel the same way?
Yep.
Fire away.
All right, cool. First question. I'm just going to direct these at both of you guys. Yeah. Jocko and Leif, assuming someone would be a good SEAL officer, would you suggest they go enlisted first, get experience, then become an officer? Would you suggest that?
Or the other choice would be just go straight officer commission. So
Right.
I guess we have both of those examples here.
Right.
I was enlisted first. Leif went straight commissioned out of the Naval Academy. And I think we're probably going to say pretty much the same thing here in terms of to me, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter where you get your commission from. It doesn't really matter if you get a commission. It doesn't really matter. There's guys in the SEAL teams, there's enlisted senior leaders that are awesome examples. They're awesome leaders. They change people's lives. They have a huge impact on the battlefield. There's obviously officers that do the same thing. I think, I had an incredibly lucky career, and I had a great career, and I wouldn't change any part of it at all. I was lucky enough to be an enlisted guy and do multiple deployments as an enlisted guy, and then be an officer and do multiple deployments as an officer. And it was great. And I wouldn't change any part of it. And I know plenty of guys that were officers their whole career, and they wouldn't change any of that. And I know plenty of guys that were enlisted guys their whole career, and they wouldn't change any of that. So I think the important thing is think about what piece of the puzzle you want to fit into and what you really want your expertise and your job to be. I don't know. What do you think, Leif? You wish you would have done some time as an E-dog, as a sled dog?
For sure. I mean, look, there's a part of me that certainly always wishes that. But look, I think it's just a different job. You're going to always, as an officer straight out of a commissioning source, I had to lean on those. I had to lean on those chiefs. I had to lean on those leading petty officers, those folks who had experience, who could help me and guide me. And, no matter who you are, you're not going to have it all figured out. And it's something that, Jocko, you talk about often, we talk about often, and when we work with companies. So having run our leadership course, what we call the junior officer training course, and every single SEAL officer that graduates from every commissioning source that graduates from the SEAL training pipeline goes through this course. It was about a 5-week course, 4 week of classroom, 1 week of field training exercise, where we're kind of out in the field and putting these guys through some challenges. And I led that for 2 years. I instructed that course, and I think we put 130 something officers through that. And the best officer, we had some great officers that went through that, and probably the best officer I put through was a prior enlisted SEAL. We had some officers that struggled, and probably the guy who struggled the most was another prior enlisted SEAL. Both these guys have been prior enlisted and commissioned officers. So it just goes to show you that every source, whether it's a Naval Academy, whether it's prior enlisted and going to Seaman Admiral program, whether it's coming in through OCS, Officer Candidate School, or ROTC, at universities, you've got outstanding people that come out of those commissioning sources. You got some people that aren't that good that come out of those commissioning sources. So it's about you, and I think it's kind of immaterial.
The physical part is pretty important, right? Going in.
Well, of course, you got to have some level of athleticism, but it's not.
Is that too obvious?
Yeah, it's not.
It just if you yes, show up and be ready to make it through the training, but that has next to nothing to do with your ability to lead people. Of course, you have to be physically fit. You have to be able to. I mean, there's no doubt you have to be physically fit.
Yeah,
that's like a ground base.
Right.
No doubt about it. So if you don't have that, you're not even close. So everybody that is going to be in a leadership position in the SEAL teams is physically fit, period.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I'm for whatever reason thinking just to be a SEAL. Okay, cool. All right, next question. Jocko and Leif, are your book's principles universal, or only for U.S. audience?
We work with audiences anywhere. They apply to anywhere. Across the world, human beings in any kind of leadership capacity, in any capacity, and business or life. And Jocko and I have actually done a lot of work internationally as well. So I've spoken to groups in Europe. I've worked with leadership training groups from China and spoken in Canada. Across the world, where leaders are dealing with the same kind of problems, same kind of issues. This is not universal. It only applies to America. It applies anywhere.
Yeah, and what I found is, and Jocko always talk about like how it's relationships, building relationships up and down the chain of command. So, and really that relationships theme is kind of everything in life, whether it's like your friends or your spouse, husband and wife or whatever, in the teams or in business, right? So relationships apply to everybody in the whole world, no matter what culture, U.S. or otherwise. So each different type of person, right, where the people who read your guys' book isn't always going to be a military guy or a business guy.
But I just had a friend who sent me a picture. He was in Frankfurt, Germany, walking through out of his hotel, and there's a guy sitting in the lobby at like the coffee bar reading Extreme Ownership in Germany. So this is it's everywhere, and I think leaders who seek to be better. This book is for them. The principles in this book are for them. And a lot of the companies we work with, even if they're based in the U.S., they have ties to other countries, manufacturing plants in Mexico or China or across the world, and do business across the Atlantic Ocean, across the Pacific Ocean. It's a very international, interconnected world out there. And there's most of the companies we're working with these days have offices in South America or Asia or Europe, and they're kind of worldwide.
This is going to sound kind of crazy, but this could easily be a relationship counseling guide as well.
Well, obviously, if you take extreme ownership of your relationship and you realize where it could be you that could be the problem in your relationship, yes. Yeah. Now, that being said, Echo Charles, this will not turn into a relationship podcast.
Not a marriage
We're here to talk about war.
You're not going to be Dr. Laura?
Yes. It's not happening here. Not happening. Good try. Good try, Echo.
Okay. Thanks.